personal as if you're trying to attack me and who I am.
Yeah.
But because my journey is personal,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and so that's the thing. And again, y'all, when we begin to work on these 5 pillars, it's going to help us with relationships and creating healthy boundaries and balance in our life. And a lot of times we really can't do that because some of these pillars are out of whack.
Mm-hmm.
So just saying we have, you know, the 4th pillar, which is financial, out of whack, right? If that 4th pillar, financial, is out of whack, then I'm going to be jumping down here to relational, trying to connect with people who can possibly help me with the financial piece. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't going to be no hoe, but I ain't going to be with you if you ain't give me no money. You understand? I ain't no hoe, but you gotta pay me for this. You understand?
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. So that's why I'm just being real, right? That's why we gotta work on these, because by the time I get to financial, I know who God is, I know who I am, and my mental is cool, and my physical, because I'm working on my physical. Financial is gonna come in play.
Yeah.
So now when I get relational, I'm in this relationship because I believe we can build together. Not because I believe, you know, I can't survive without you.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? By the time I get to pillar number 5, I'm good with me.
What's 5?
5 is relational.
But what's number 3?
So number 1 is spiritual. Number 2 is mental. Number 3 is physical, because we want to make sure our physical health is intact, right? It doesn't mean we got to be a size 6. Right? Because I weigh 170 some pounds, y'all, and I'm talking about my internal stuff. When I get the blood stuff, that's A1, even though I'm trying to lose weight. You understand? So it's not about being a certain size. It's about moving, because physical health helps with mental health. It helps us regulate our emotions. And then 4 is financial, and 5 is relational. And so again, I can have spiritual think. I can skim past this pillar, right? Then I can be in mental health counseling, seeing my therapist. I can jump down to relational, and this relational, because I've skimmed over my spiritual, now I'm wondering, God understands. He knows my heart. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not doing the things, right? I'm not doing the things that I need to do, because guess what? I done made it to pillar number 5, and I'm just happy I got somebody. And I'm like, it's false. Because I think somebody said earlier, like, we can start and then we can stop, and then it seemed like the things that we're doing it's coming together, but then soon as we get that bump in the road, because humans, it's going to cause us to have a bump in the road, y'all. I don't care what type of human. It can be your kid, it can be your spouse, your partner, whoever. It's going to cause us to have a bump in the road. But if we don't have this part solid, this spiritual, everything's gonna go out the window. Because mentally I'm gonna be trying to figure out, how do I help? How do I change my kid? How do I protect them with all this stuff going on in the world? How can I do this and that? And I'm like, you know what, let me chill out. God, you got this. You know? You got it. Because I can't control it. And you know, and it's a story in the Bible where it says about Job. It says, please get this, y'all. It says the thing, everybody know the life of Job, right? It says the thing that Job feared the most came upon him. The thing that Job feared the most came upon him. So when I began to go through this thing and being fearful with my kids, I would be like, oh, wait, hold on, God. Because what that says to me is fear draws the thing to us. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's like, okay, you know what, God, I don't want to be afraid that something going to happen to my kids. God, they in your hands. And they ain't leaving here until it's their time to go. So whenever it's their time to go, I want to be at peace with it, because I know nobody snatched their life. You know what I'm saying? It was time for them to go. And so that helps me with the fear that I may have, the anxiety that I may have with my children. You understand what I'm saying? But that's only because I mastered this part. And let me say this. Even with me mastering this part, don't mean that I don't be like, whoa, hold on. Okay, God, wait. That looked real crazy. My daughter doing, you know what I'm saying? But then I go back, because I don't want fear to open up a portal for destruction to come and happen. You know what I'm saying? To my kids or to my family.
Yeah, that always makes me feel uncomfortable. Maybe I really have to get into the posture like I was. I know I do. Because talking about it right now is making me uncomfortable. It's like, I can feel the shift.
Yeah. So. When you say talking about it now makes you feel uncomfortable, kind of explain what you're noticing in your body right now.
Well, I'm starting to feel like that anxiety coming. I feel a little anxiety, and then just thinking that way. But I want to get to the point, like you said, I want to not feel like it was taken. It was this top God. He has some, like, because it's one person who I've seen that I could say is very strong was Nipsey Hussle's mother, and how she spoke at the funeral. That was strength. Like, or people who I just see, like, you can see stuff on the internet all the time. People speaking for their kids at their funeral and stuff. And I just be like, just like my son, he just got a job out of town, and I'm talking to him. I'm excited, but at the same time, I can feel nervousness. Yeah. So that's why I was telling you, like, about my meds. I think I need. Yeah, because I be so, my nerves, like, I always got to go to the bath, like, it's best for my system.
Absolutely.
I think it's a nervous thing, because I just be nervous.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, again, all of that is natural, y'all. And when you just, like, embrace, this is what I'm feeling, and so it's like, okay, it's here. Then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to worry about it being here. I'm just going to notice that it's here. Right? So when we're talking about mindfulness, it literally is just noticing what you're noticing. What has your attention? Is it a body sensation? Is it a smell? Is it, a thought? What is that? And just notice that it's here. You don't have to judge it. You're not tripping. You're not going crazy. It just is what it is right now.
Yeah. Could it be because I almost did die? Because I literally was getting choked from a boyfriend of mine from the back. Couldn't fight back, and all I seen was black. You know what I'm saying? And I started seeing speckles, and then I heard a voice say, "Ask him, why is he doing this to me?" Now I don't know if that was me, but when I said it, moments later he let me go. But I was the hospital told me that I was almost gone. Yeah. By me explaining that to them. So could that be part of the PTSD?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So when we're talking about post-traumatic stress disorder, right? Post meaning after, right? After a traumatic event.
It is like I want to cry. It's like I think my brain just going through that wiring thing, because it's like I just know I'm here for a purpose. Because that's not the first time. It's things happen to me after, like boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
So when y'all realize, right? Like when you look back over your life and you're like, man, I made it. I made it. Why did I make it? You know what I'm saying? What am I going to do with the rest of this life? You know what I'm saying? And then what can I take away from that experience? Because I don't believe we just made it. When I was in prison in that third world country, I'm thinking, this is weird. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I did a lot of stuff in Ohio. You know what I'm saying? That could have put me in jail. So why did I end up in a third world country? But this is what I said. I didn't want that to just be my story. So God, I need you to take all this stuff. And this is what my real life prayer was. God, I need you to use me to positively impact as many people who are negatively impacted. Wow. That was my real live prayer. And when I tell you he has done that, he has done that.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah. And so you got to make this thing personal. You don't want to just say, I'm a survivor of childhood abuse. You don't want to say, I'm a survivor of domestic violence, rape, near-death situation. You want to say, I'm a thriver, and this is how I know I'm a thriver. Because I've been able to take my story and stand on top of it. Yes. Right? You standing on top of it when you can talk about it and don't care if people got something negative to say about it. Because it's I'm no longer underneath my story. You understand what I'm saying? I'm standing on top of that thing now. So it's like, okay, you know how you take the sting from a bully? If somebody is talking about you, you just join in. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, I am, you know what I'm saying? I do got a big head, or I do, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is, right? It takes the sting out, because if they talking about you and it's not hurting you, then why am I do it? So we got to learn how to use what the enemy meant for bad, right? The abuse, right? The things that has happened to us to cause us to like look at ourselves in a messed up way. We got to use that and say, you know what, this leverage. I got a story. Because the difference between me and the thousands of therapists that's in this city is I'm LaShanna.
That part.
You understand? And my story is different.
Yeah.
Your story is your story.
My story is my story.
Not the story that people say is your story. Not is you defining and choosing to say, hey, this is my story. This is what I'm gonna go with.
You defining and choosing. And check this out. What helped me define and choose my story was this pillar. Because I had to figure out, man, I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, man, I am crazy. How did I end up in this third world country? Like, this is crazy, right? And not only was I in the third world country, locked up in prison, but then I fight an officer and didn't even get confined from the people I was already confined with. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, girl, you crazy. Jail inside of a jail.
That's wild.
You understand what I'm saying? But this is what helped me set me free while I was in jail. Because I was in jail, y'all, in a belief system way before I was in jail physically. You understand what I'm saying?
And that's how it goes with your mental, and you can't jump from mental to physical.
Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm saying to you,
I feel in jail though. Because I feel like I want to be free.
Yes.
And I'm like that. People talk about serving, I'm like, hold on. I was there.
Yeah.
I went through this.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's time for, then it just makes me feel free.
Yes.
And it helps me a person can understand me and they don't feel alone and they can get over it. So yeah, I'm gonna start looking at it as thriving and a leverage.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I love your heart, y'all. Do y'all realize those of us who have went through crap that should have killed us? We come out more compassionate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We literally have like less judgment of other people.
Why is that?
Because we know. We've been through it. You know what I'm saying? And we know what it's like to be talked about.
Yeah. But why wouldn't that make us like, I don't know, see, I'm just so confused about that part. You know, why is it the people that have been just taken down so far, we care so much still?
Yeah.
When we shouldn't.
No, we should.
No, I mean, like, we should, but like...
Right.
But in what terms of care are you talking about though, right?
Yeah.
I care if I see you going down a similar path to me, and I want to extend compassion because of similarities.
Yeah.
But I ain't caring because you got something to say about where I'm at right now. You know, it's different types of care. So what are you talking about?
So see if you can elaborate. So look at it. Okay, watch this. A homeless person, right?
Yeah.
A homeless person will usually give their last piece of bread to another homeless person. And now I can say, well, why would you do that? You don't even have nothing. But it's because, again, when we're going through things, y'all, I know what I can take. I don't know what you can take. So I care about you so much, I'll take the blow for you. Because I know what I take. You can be like represent my kid. You know what I'm saying? I'll take the blow for my kid because I don't know if they'll go try to commit suicide. I know I'm going to be solid. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. That's the thing. Go ahead.
So my situation was my youngest son's father does nothing for our son. Nothing. Barely has any interaction with him and gets him. Nothing like that. Is in arrears and child support. I don't even care about like the money like that. But you know, if I'm asking, you know, can you buy clothes or can you buy shoes? And he laughs in my face after I keep on continuously being supportive for him and to, you know, like I'm always there for him. Like a month ago, he got into a bad situation. I allowed him to come over to visit our son. He ended up staying the night, slept on my couch. But I just feel like I should not be looking out for him like that when he's not even looking out for our son. Like, why? I don't understand why I continue to allow this man. You know what I mean? I'm like that with everybody, and I don't like that about myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day, like the next day, I told him, I was like, I ended up leaving, went to work. I was like, when you get up, you need to close the door behind you and leave.
Yeah.
Why I trusted him to be in my house? I don't know.
Because
I feel like it's like, you know what? If you're gonna take from me.
Yeah.
You know, those are just materialistic things.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be like that with him or anybody like that anymore. But I care so much about people. Like, I literally will do for everybody else before I do for myself, and I don't like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I don't know how to stop that.
Here's the thing, y'all. This is what I'm telling you. Everything is tied up in these 5 pillars, y'all. I promise you. The 5 pillars literally will help you develop and build healthy relationships with yourself, with God, and those around you, right? And so that way it's like, okay, wait, because the spirituality piece will literally help you understand why you do what you do. Because if we talk for, you know, a little longer, I can tell you exactly the belief that had you allowing him to come to the house.
Something bad happened to him. I feel like that was on me if I told him no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We got a kid. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff, right?
We create these stories that ain't even happen. Like, you're not responsible for the next person.
It's just not one story.
Right,
I
but
know
no,
what
I'm
you
just saying
said. We
in
create.
general, we do. Like, I do it too. Like, well, if I don't this, and then this is this. And
Yes.
sometimes it's not even like that person that's doing it. Because I be like, well, they did it, and they would have felt it. How do I know? They didn't say that. It's because somebody else in my past has thrown it in my face and said it, or it's something I have created in my head.
Yes.
And I'm probably replaying something I've heard somewhere before,
Yes.
heard on TV, heard
Yes.
from another situation. That's why, like, what we put in, what we filter in is so important.
Yes.
And then when we were talking about, like, the whole spiritual aspect, sometimes even with that, because it was like, when you said it, and I keep going back to, like, believe in what God says about me, but how you gonna know what God said about you if you don't know what he says?
Oh, exactly.
And so, and then when I start knowing what he says,
What
it
is-
definitely.
Repeat that.
Okay.
Because I was writing that.
It
How can you
says,
believe? Go ahead.
my question was, do I believe what God says about me, right? Because, like, he's my God. I'm supposed to believe what he says about me,
Yeah.
but how do I believe what he says about me if I don't know what he says?
Exactly.
If I'm not reading my word.
Yes.
Oh.
If I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
those, and like, and not just read it because the
Yeah.
pastor said it, but
Right.
for myself.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then a lot of times you will find your answers in that, where it talks about, you know, when it comes to treating people, right?
Yes.
What did they say? It's something about something is worry for the wicked or whatever. All these different things that are there to tell us, like, how and give us guidance of how to deal with people.
Absolutely.
Even when it comes to enemies, even when it comes to the family and
Yes.
all that stuff. It's like,
Yes.
if you're in this, okay, the last thing. We talking about between good and bad and righteous and all this other stuff. It's there.
Yeah.
It's like, if it's not of righteousness, if it's not good, then it's not good.
Right.
And people don't want to say it's bad because of how it sounds. And I'm one of them people who be like, I don't want to say it's bad because it don't seem bad, but, like, there can't be two rights too many times, right?
Right.
There could be two truths, meaning I feel this way, you feel that way, right? So what's our right way? We have to do what's right for us.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely on that, like, when I read my word, which I ain't been doing it like that, when I read it and I'm reminded of what it says, what he says, how things are handled, it definitely gives me guidance of, like, how to deal with people, right?
Absolutely.
It gives me guidance for my mental health. It gives me guidance for my physical. It gives me guidance for my financial, and it gives me guidance for relations.
Yes.
So it all.
That's why that pillar is first, right?
Yeah, makes
Now,
sense.
here's the thing, though, and that's good. That is really good. Here's the thing. She said, how do we believe what he said about us if we don't know what he said, right? But I need y'all to understand that as y'all reading what he said, it's not just as easy, oh, well, God said this. Because it's going to go against everything you said, everything you taught. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, he said if they smack you in the face, turn your other cheek. Like, whoa, hold on. I was taught if they hit me, I better go beat them. You know what I'm saying? So now you telling me to give them my other, like, what? You know what I'm saying? He said if they forgive, if they, wrong you, forgive them 70 times 7. It's like, wait, hold on, God. I know how to do math. You know what I'm saying? So they already reached that, 4,400, and so that's the thing. So even though we read it, that's why we have to be consistent. Because we can read something and be like, oh, okay, yeah, it sounds good. But then when we're in situations, our natural nature, right, our sin nature, our carnal nature is going to rise up and say, yeah, no, I ain't turning the other cheek. What I'm going to do is be in jail. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever we tell ourselves. And so here's the homework, y'all. The homework is for you to identify at least 5 scriptures that says what God says about you. Right? What does God say about women? What does God say about his creation? What does God say? So you will kind of Google that. What does scripture say about women? What does scripture say about depression? Whatever. But I want you to have 5 scriptures. And then next time we meet, we're going to go over pillar number 2, which is mental. Because again, it's still going to work hand in hand. But the thing is with this spiritual, y'all, the spiritual will help with coping with stress, anxiety, depression, and all of that. It'll help regulate our mind. Okay? And so, like, I wasn't fortunate enough, or maybe it was fortunate to have a therapist. You know, like literally, God himself was my therapist because nobody was saying about me in prison. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody was saying about me. And I'm going to tell you, when I got in the fight with the officer, they was like, you was wrong, you know, because for me, I live by the rule, provocation is against the law. Mm-hmm. And the lady was provoking me. She didn't hit me, so I figured she wasn't gonna hit me, so I needed to hit her first. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm in prison. They coming by the little hole they got me in. You was wrong. You need to apologize. And this is how I realized I was wrong. God began to give me the word in the scripture, and it says, "Lay your hands suddenly on no man." Mm. And when he said that, because of my babe stage, I was like, oh, because I used to fight a lot. He like, no, you can't just be going around here putting your hands on folk. And I'm like, oh, okay, God, I repent. You know what I'm saying? I apologize. And he began to change my life after that. And when I got out of the hole, literally I was working in the kitchen with that same officer.